Hello everyone, Nate here. Today I will be showing you how to draw my comic book character, the Intelligent Superthink, aka Jay Wardle. This How to Draw My Characters series is so overdue, and I'm disappointed in myself for not making a faster effort. But at least it's getting done now. So if anyone out there, and I know there's not a lot of people out there interested in this, but if anyone wants to know how to draw Superthink, hopefully this tutorial from the creator myself becomes helpful. Okay, first I get my wooden easel and the green screen setup. I don't usually have a green screen up when drawing, but for this video I have it up because I don't know, that's not the focus of this video. Also, you may notice it's quiet if I ever stop talking. That's because I cut the audio from this footage since someone was watching a movie in the background and I didn't want to interrupt their time by asking them to pause it. Anyways, I'll start drawing Superthink at the head here. Okay, so I should probably redraw the sides of his torso soon, but now I'm making sure his hair. This sucks. I accidentally made a hole in the paper. Darn it! Okay, I'm gonna go get something to eat and pretend for a few minutes I don't have any videos to. Wait, actually, this joke doesn't make any sense since I'm just voicing over. This audio isn't from the video where I would have had this reaction. Alright, I'm back, and this time I'm gonna put a drawing book here so I don't accidentally draw over the hole underneath the paper again. So, this is something I actually figured out when drawing for Superthink number 3. Instead of just going into shapes first, I need to start off by drawing him as a stick figure and measure how long these lines on his face should be. This way his proportions are more consistent. This stick figure layer won't be on the paper for long though. It will be a waste after I trace this in pen. So basically here for his face, I know it looks like I'm just drawing a pizza, but eventually it will go away soon. Again, this is just to get the proportions right. Alright, so now I'm gonna draw his hair. It starts at the bottom and goes up, creating this pointy look here. So now I'm checking to see how wide his torso should be, and then I'm gonna draw the stick figure line here. I want to make sure it's not too tall or short, kind of difficult to find that balance. And now I'm gonna draw his stick figure legs on each side under his waist here. So now that I'm drawing his stick figure legs, I want him to be in a flying position. So I'm gonna have his feet a bit slanted here. So now I want it to look even. So for situations like this, I'm just measure his torso and try to make his legs that same size. So that looks even to me, and now I will be moving on to drawing his actual legs around his stick figure legs. I gotta make sure his legs aren't too big or skinny. It's honestly been a while since I last drew by hand, so it's kind of difficult to get back into that and make less flaws as possible. But I'll try my best to make this drawing look great. Plus, I guess this is good practice for me when I start drawing for Superthink number 4. This makes me think I should just start having a routine to practice drawing my comics before actually working on them. Actually, I'll say this, but we'll probably never make time for that since I already have a bunch of other stuff to work on. So, I guess when I start drawing comics again, I'll just have to, I don't know, will figure it out and hope it doesn't come out visually bad. So right now, I'm just rubbing off the eraser shavings. I think they're called. I usually do this every few minutes or seconds, as you have been seeing in this video. And now I'm gonna fix his foot here. Now I'm getting to drawing his arms. I want both of them to be going up to show he's actually flying. But before I actually draw them, I need to give him stick figure arms. Then I'll draw the second layer over him. I'm even gonna draw him these stick figure fists before actually drawing his fists. So now I'm actually starting to draw the second layer of his arms around his stick figure arms. I gotta make sure for this they look like they're connecting well to his torso, and also gotta make sure they're not too thin or big. Honestly, since I wasn't even talking during the filming of this video, and I'm just voicing over right now, I kind of forgot what my plan here was with erasing this area. Oh, I think I'm trying to fix his back. So now I'm also gonna measure the torso and his arm to make sure they're an even size, even though in reality people's arms are actually a bit longer than their torsos. But I guess that's just how I draw, I guess. Anyways, the size looks even, so I'm gonna keep drawing his arm. So now I'm gonna measure his torso and his legs to make sure they're an even size. Oh, wait, hold on, I'm pretty sure I already did this earlier. I don't know why I'm doing this again. Oh wait, maybe I only did that during my first attempt before that other people got a whip. So now I'm just starting to erase the stick figure lines on the inside, since Super Think's real body is actually coming into frame now. So I don't need the stick figure layer anymore. Anyways, now I'm just fixing his arm and fist here, and now I'm starting to draw the details, starting with his glove. Actually, I don't think that counts as a glove, since it's part of his suit. Anyways, it usually does have that pointy design, but then I'm realized it's gonna be, his arms are gonna be up in the air, so it's gonna be the back of his glove showing, which has a more of a hole in the ground shape design. So now I'm just gonna fix that mistake, and then I'm gonna measure the torso and legs again. And okay, I thought they were even enough already, but I must have changed my mind because I'm erasing it now. I have no idea what I'm gonna do next, even though at the time I am writing out the script for me to read. I only filmed this video a week ago, yet I forgot what I did next. Should I be worried about that? Actually, if it was a week ago, I guess it's reasonable for me to forget the exact steps I did for a video where I show how to draw my own original character. Why? Wait, I just realized I got so distracted talking about this, I haven't even been talking about what I'm doing in this video here. Okay, so it seems like I've drawn his belt. I'm in the process of redrawing his legs, and now I'm starting to draw the ST logo on his chest. I want to make it so that the letter S and T connects, otherwise the logo looks boring and not very creative. If the S and the T were just separated, like how you would normally write them or type them out. So now I'm measuring the torso and legs again. So now I'm gonna erase that because I don't want his legs to be too far apart from each other in this flying pose. And now I'm getting to drawing his long blue socks here. They're a part of his suit too, but I'm gonna call them long blue socks since I don't know what else to call this area. Anyways, I drew the pointy design heel on his socks, so now I guess I'm just wiping the eraser shavings off. Now I'm gonna erase the lines off of his face to make way for his mask eyes. I kind of ruined the head heel while erasing, so I'm gonna redraw that, and then I'll get to drawing his eyes. Okay, now that his head is fixed, I'm gonna start drawing his eyes for his mask. So, when I first started creating Super Think's character design in around 2021, I wanted him to have those almost angry eyes on his mask to show how determined he is to take on a fight with any evil that disrupts the peace in his city. So, there's new lore behind the scenes wise. Anyways, now that his mask eyes are done, I'll be drawing his telekinesis bubble around him since he is gonna be flying. Then I'm gonna draw these lines here to represent the wind, and then I'm going to fix his logo here and draw it to be a bit bigger. Now that the pencil layer is done, I'm gonna move on to tracing this over with a ink pen. So next, I'm gonna start just tracing over him in pen, which becomes much more easier than drawing him out in pencil since he's already drawn, you just have to trace over him. So I started with his logo here. I honestly don't really think it really matters where you start tracing him over at in ink, of course. You can just start anywhere. So I'm gonna be tracing over his glove here, then his arm. Next, I'm gonna start tracing over the left side of his torso here. Now I'm tracing over his leg here, and now I'm gonna move to tracing over the right side of his torso, and then down to his leg again. Now I'm gonna trace over his foot. Next, I'm gonna trace over his left foot heel, and now I'm gonna draw the rest of his leg heel. Now I'll trace over his belt. Then I stopped doing that for some reason and went to tracing over the pointy design on his long blue sock heel. And now I'm tracing over the other long blue sock heel. Next, I went back to work on the belt and started tracing over the lines here. Then I started tracing over his right arm. Honestly, that might not be his right arm, but I mean, that's the perspective I'm seeing it from. So, for the sake of this video, I'm just gonna say that's his right arm. Anyways, so I'm tracing over his logo. Wait, I thought I already finished that. I honestly don't like the fact that I'm starting to forget stuff or remember how things went in the video here. So now I'm gonna trace over his head here in ink. I don't get why I'm taking so long to trace over everything. I have to write so much dialogue for me to read over this video just so you guys don't have to sit here in awkward silence. In some drawing videos I watch, they just put on music so they don't have to say anything to fill in the silence. But I don't think I'm gonna do that other than the Super Think theme because I really don't wanna run the risk of getting this video copyrighted or taken down. And I can't just play the Super Think theme over and over. That is 1 minute long, and this video is going on for more than 17 minutes at the time of editing, so I can't just put it on loop for that long. Unless if I just took that 1 minute video and had it slowed it down very slow so it could stretch out across this video, but that would just be insane. Music slowed down at the slowest speed just sounds like static. I may as well just have the video go without sound at that point. Actually, I should probably just cut out some unnecessary clips out of the video. That way I don't have to write down as much to read. Or I could just speed up the video. That's what I'm actually doing right now as I'm writing this script. So the video is quicker and I have less speaking to fill in for. I know that sounds like a delayed thing to say at this point in the video, since it has been sped up for a while now, but I don't know what to conclude that sentence at, so I'm just gonna drop it. Anyways, about that piece of paper I crumbled up earlier, I'm gonna use this to see which colors I need to use specifically. I, of course, know SuperThink's color palette is just orange, light green, light blue, and black, but I need to make sure I'm using the correct green or orange. Now I'm gonna put this paper away and bring back this paper to color in SuperThink, starting with the mask eyes. Again, it doesn't really matter where you start coloring him in at. Of course, I just start with the mask eyes just because. So now, that the eyes are done, I'm gonna start coloring in the green telekinesis bubble here. For these colors, I use illustration markers. They really help the characters are setting on the paper look colorful. I have a black color illustration marker too, but I decided to use the brush pen for the mask guys anyways because I just wanted to make more use out of that one. So I guess now I'm moving on to coloring in the green areas of his suit, even though I didn't even finish the telekinesis bubble yet. I don't know why I didn't just finish the telekinesis bubble first, then move on to the suit. Okay, so now I'm going back to coloring it in the telekinesis bubble, then back to the suit. Apparently, I'm just switching back and forth. I think it's just something I tend to do a lot when coloring. At least it doesn't slow down the progress of making the drawing. I'm still going at the same pace. Anyways, I need a break from talking and at the time of making this script, typing out all this dialogue. So I'm gonna take this as the chance to play the SuperThink theme music I use for SuperThink to fill in the silence for me. It's only 1 minute, so it may not last that long, but considering how much there is left of this video, I don't think I'm gonna have to keep talking as much even after the music ends. You know, I could have just had the music playing already instead of just rambling on about what I'm going to do for the editing process of this video. Why am I still talking? There's actually another file of mine with the theme for Superthink, but extended, that I recorded back in 2021, but the volume of my computer I was recording it off of was too low, so you can barely hear it. Maybe I should work on fixing or editing that sometime. I don't know if it's just me, but writing out the script I'm reading off of feels like it's taking forever. I really don't want to come off as being lazy with this video because since this is celebrating 100 subscribers, I want to make it nice, but I just didn't know that making a drawing tutorial video with the audio cut out, no music, and only relying on mainly my voiceover would be this difficult to tackle. Also, I know there's been some drawing steps in this video I haven't been explaining since I've been getting distracted with talking about my problems with making this video, which I don't think anyone came here for, obviously. But I'm sure at this point you can already see what I'm clearly doing here. There doesn't need to be this much explaining for every single second. Although, I feel like I should explain the part about his left leg here. It kind of looked awkward, so I tried redrawing it with pen and attempted to cover up the previous leg with more wind lines. So that's kind of a bad stain on the drawing now. But I don't think it completely ruins it. Anyways, I think the drawing is pretty much done now. I just had to write something at the top of the paper first. And this pretty much wraps up the video. Thank you all so much for watching. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing and checking out more of my videos. And I hope you found this video useful if you're interested in drawing my original character. Now that I'm done with this, I can finally start focusing more time on my script for Superthink number 4 again. Thank you all for 100 subscribers. It's made me really happy. I finally reached that number.